All right, if everybody could take their seats, please. It is my distinguished pleasure to introduce, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Meeks.
This thing we do, write books, craft stories, build worlds, is remarkable. Authors, does that mean that we are superior, smarter, better looking than the population at large? Yes, it does. And you, the 1,000 authors that are here in the desert at 20 books to 50K, and especially here today that got up at 8 in the morning, you're at the cool table. Thank you. And that was the coolest of you. In this age of like, love, meme, hashtag, share, follow, 24-hour social media, dopamine hit, people need a break. And we provide that break. Thank you for coming out this morning to hear me talk about the art of copywriting. And there's that cool kid again that keeps wooing. That's how you make friends in this business. The interesting thing about trying to sell books is that we're giving people an escape, whether they want to learn, whether they want to go to one of our worlds. They're interested in 2 uninterrupted hours of just glorious reading. And when they go to that description for your book, that 500-word block text synopsis, plot point ruining debacle, they can't be bothered to read it. In doing this, I've been studying copywriting now for a bit, and I've learned that the hook is the key, and people don't do that. We're going to talk about that. I may or may not follow the deck up there, but hopefully by the end of the day, you'll understand why descriptions are as important as the cover and the quality of your book, because the cover, in most cases, with pay-per-click advertising or people doing searches, the advertising copy plays some part, but for the most part, it's the cover. Oh, it's a nice cover. They go and check you out. But when they get to that description, if they see a giant block of text, because Facebook has destroyed our attention spans. How many of you see a post, your best friend for 23 years has just had a baby, and it's 22 lines in a single massive Homer-esque block of text? Do you read it? Anybody? One good friend out there, the rest of you can't be bothered, and the reading public is the same way. Facebook has destroyed our attention spans. You have maybe 3 nanoseconds to grab their attention, and that's why the hook's so important. Short is sweet. Long descriptions just don't convert. I don't know if any of you have heard, I enjoy data. One of my favorite words is the M word, math. And I've studied this. I keep all my data. I've had 100 million impressions, 600,000 clicks. I have the data. I've written maybe 500 descriptions. I've looked at other authors' data. And the realities are that if you don't have these hooks, the description is going to convert at 1 in 30, 1 in 35. My descriptions, and I'll show you a couple later, convert at 1 in 8 to 1 in 10. And you can be a complete math phobe and still, if I ask you, would you rather pay for 30 clicks or 8? Everybody's going to get that quiz question right. And so today we're going to try to get you to the point where you understand the importance of copywriting. Sugarman. I got my toes dipped into copywriting because of a book, Joseph Sugarman. I'd finished a book, put it into KDP, filled out my ISBN, had it done. The cover was lovely. The book was edited, it was uploaded. There was one remaining box that had not been filled in, the description. I'll do that tomorrow. I didn't do it tomorrow. Every day for 60 days, I put off launching my book. And I don't do great launches. Of the 1,000 people here, I'm the worst at it. And some of you haven't launched a book. So keep that into perspective. You'll never come to 20Books and see how to launch a book by Brian Meeks, because spending 60 days not hitting publish isn't the way you do it. And when I did hit publish, I was so pleased. It was a relief, this burden, this horrible thing that had been weighing me down for 2 months was gone. And then my little voice said, "You're pathetic." And the description I wrote was horrible. It was like just a tiny little block of text that said, yeah, it's a book, something to that effect. So there's a podcast called the Self-Publishing Podcast. Sean Platt, his background before he decided to become an author was he was a world-class copywriter, and he's a friend. So I reached out to Sean. I sent him an email. A few minutes later, I said, "Sean, this is what I just did. I'm disgusted with myself. Can you recommend a book? Help me out." And he sent back, he said, "There's a book by Joseph Sugarman that is fantastic. It's called Adweek, and if you only buy one book this year, buy Mastering Amazon Descriptions by Brian Meeks." In Adweek, Sugarman says the only job of the first line is to get them to read the second line. That's the only job. If your first line doesn't do that, you've got a horrible description. The second line is to get them to the third line. And the third line gets them to your first real paragraph. And that's where we start to hint at what might be in the book. We do not then start telling me, or telling the potential reader, all the things that are in the book, because that's just a synopsis, and often it ruins the whole point. Well, that was a lovely description. Thank you for giving me no reason to read further. You told me everything. And so I read that, and I started to draw connections. My attention span has been destroyed. I'm an avid chess player, and I noticed in December of 2016 that I was unable to play long chess. I was playing blitz, but longer games, 30-minute time controls. It was on the screen, and I would check Facebook, and my rating dropped. I wasn't doing as well. My focus had been shattered, and I realized it was because of the whole dopamine, like. And I started to think about how I could change that. So I began testing copywriting, and I'd read the Sugarman book a year earlier. When I changed my descriptions, I went from 1 in 30 to 1 in 10 to 12 on the conversion rate. And I've since 2016 thought a lot more about it, gotten better at my descriptions, and now 1 in 8 to 1 in 10. And that may not seem like a big difference, but that's huge, paying for 12 versus 8 over 600,000 clicks. That's a massive amount of additional revenue. And so I started thinking about what's going on. And we all know taglines. We're all familiar with good copy. How many of you hate writing your description? And when I say hate, it's like worse than Jell-O with fruit in it. Yeah, she knows. The thing is that what you don't understand, the secret is all of you have been exposed to brilliant copywriting since birth. Radio, TV, magazines. You're hit all the time with slogans, hooks, Nike, just do it. You know what it is. You just don't know you know what it is. And part of the goal is to get you just start looking for it. If you keep your ears and your eyes open, because copywriting isn't just about the written word. It's about the formatting. And I'm going to tell you, we're going to run through a couple descriptions, and I'll get to that later. But I want to tell you a story. The great thing about this conference, this third year, it's so nice. Each year it gets bigger, and when you come back and you haven't been here before, the second time is better than the last time, because when you show up, oh, my friends, and there's hugs, and it's just fantastic. Well, I was hanging out yesterday and chatting with a couple friends of mine, and Aaron and his wife Laura. We'd gone to Bali 20Books before, been on a little adventure that I wrote about when I got deported to South Korea, and we were just talking. And they're a wonderful couple. They may be the best married couple. They're delightful. I love them in every way. And we were talking, and Aaron said, yeah, Laura and I have discussed it, and we've decided we don't want children. I was like, wow, that's a big decision. Because in this business, if you've got a partner and you make life decisions, wow, that's a big decision. And Laura said, yeah, when we get home from the conference, we're going to tell our daughters. And there she is, so excited that they will be cast out. That's not true. I met their daughters. They're delightful. But that's good copywriting. And I admittedly, that's from a meme. I crafted that story to try to get a laugh out of you. But when I saw the meme, and I saw that, my wife and I decided we don't want children. We're going to tell our kids tonight. It's like, that's good copywriting. I live on the Strip. There's a billboard across the street, and it says, in quotes, trust me, you can sing. Signed, alcohol. That's above Lee's Discount Liquor. Some of you might know that. The point is, if I've convinced some of you that it's worthwhile looking into learning copywriting, you need to watch your data. Let's just look at this slide. You know what? I'm not really paying attention. I'm not listening when I talk. So if you come up and say questions, you remember when you said that thing? No. I just go on autopilot. If you change your description, two things. It will either improve or not. I mean, that's the reality, especially when you're new to this. It can be hard, and you can try things out, and it can improve or not. Here's the important thing, that most of you don't like math, and you will make a change, like a price change. For instance, I wrote a post in 20Books to 50K a year and a half ago. Within 30 days or so, 24 people came to me and said, Brian, I tried your price change. Raised it to $4.99. Didn't work. But I love the post. I still like what you do. Thanks. And I said, he's one of them. and I said, do you mind if we take a look at your data? Because people know some people enjoy heroin. I like data. and they always said, sure, I'd love you to take a look at my data. So we'd get on Skype. We'd open up the data. I would get out Excel. I'd start to do magic. My hands would glow. And I found out that every single one of those 24 people was, in fact, wrong. And that's important because in our school system, we're not trained how to do analysis. And if you change a description, and the next day, and say on the day before you had 5 sales, and on the next day you have 4, oh my God, the humanity. It failed. I'm a terrible person. No, that's not statistically significant data. Because, and I always tell people, oh, well, let's look at your data. Oh, you had 5, you changed the description, then you had 4. What about on Wednesday of last week when you had 1? What happened there? It was the same description. That's called variance. And you want to think about these things, and if you don't understand how to do the math, I am delightfully friendly. Just reach out to me on Facebook, and we'll do the math together. But you need to do the math to understand Have you made a difference? Have you made it better so that you can sell more books? That's important. How do you tell the difference? I don't know that today, because I've got less time than originally I thought on this thing, so I'm not going to go too much into the data analysis because, frankly, when I give these presentations, and I do, there's tears. And so I'm trying to avoid that. Do we have anything else good on this slide? What does it say? Before you start analyzing, take a look at yourself. Yes. Well, you know what? That last bit is important because most of us are either a pessimist or an optimist. And just understanding, if you know who you are, and when you look at, for the next 30 days, you change your description, understand that if you're a pessimist, you're going to try to figure out why it failed, because you're always looking for why you screwed up, for why it failed, and try to understand that. If you're an optimist, conversely, you can make the same mistake, write a new description that isn't better, and just be looking for rainbows and puppy dogs. And so that's bad too. Okay, let's see, what do we got next there? 30 days, try to look for 1,000 paid clicks. That's a statistically significant amount of data. 50 clicks, you can have a description that converts at 1 in 30, and over the previous 50 clicks had 1 to 2 conversions, and a conversion is a new reader. It's not a sale. In this day and age, where 70% of our new readers are in Kindle Unlimited, for those of you who are exclusive, sales almost don't matter. But all of you just watch your sales numbers, and then you panic when you don't see sales. But you know what? You had 50 clicks. You didn't get any sales. But what if you got 3, 4 new Kindle readers? That's where your readers are coming from, so you can't do the analysis with half the data. Does that make sense? Good. Clicks divided by sales plus KU downloads. KU downloads, we don't have the data to know how many people downloaded our book, but we do have the page reads. Over 30 days, if you have this many page reads, which is a mathematical term, here, and you know that your KENPC number, which is the Kindle edition normalized page count, is 300, and you divide this by 300, and it says 27.6. This is important. You round up to 28 because you can't have 0.6 of a person downloading your book. At least 28 people were needed to read this many pages in 30 days. It could have been 60 people reading half the book. That's important to understand. But we will never know. Well, I don't know if Amazon plans to tell us how many KU downloads we have. It would be delightful. Not that I'm hinting. That's not what's going on here. We're not trying to bully Amazon into giving us a little more data that we would dearly appreciate. But for now, we don't have the data to do the proper analysis to try to improve our book descriptions so that we can make money and make Amazon more money. So until we have that number where they tell us 62 people downloaded your book, we have to get the least possible number of people that downloaded it. You add that to sales, 62 plus say 27 sales, and then you put your clicks, you divide that, and you have your conversion ratio. You want to look at the 30 days before you change your description, and then the 30 days after, and you'll see if you made it better or not. If the data is muddied, and this happens because we have promotions, we do swaps. If the data is muddied, that happens. If in the 30 days before you change your description, you had a book bub and crushed it, that muddies the data. So go to 3 days before the book bub and take that 30-day sample. That's where you get your good data. And if it's muddied after you change the thing because you changed it right before a book bub and you wanted to optimize so that you get the most valuable promotion, other than the data's muddied, then maybe you call me and we work it out. But what do we got next? Anything else? This description. This could best be described as a war crime. Not only was the cover self-designed, an homage to a 30s era Italian Art Deco artist, because this book actually takes place in the 50s. At no point did anybody ever get my homage to this obscure Italian designer. And as such, my pretty cover that I so very much like just isn't that good. This is the original description for the print version, which I have not taken down because I don't care if I sell a few extra copies of the print book. I like having it there for gatherings of my closest friends. So, let's take a look. Henry Wood is a private detective in 1955. It is January, a new year, and before he can recover from, I can't actually read it, from celebrating. Can you all read it? It's an abomination. I don't even like hearing the words out. But that was my description. I didn't know any better. It's a giant block of text. That was converting at about 1 in 30 to 35 on, I don't know how many tens of thousands of clicks I had, but I had good data on it. After reading Sugarman's book and talking to Sean Platt, let's change it. I changed my description, got it down to 1 in 10 and 1 to 12. Now, in a moment, I'm going to go back to, there have been, in my description writing for my own books, there have been sort of 3 eras. Pre-copywriting, post-copywriting, and then last year where I realized, and this is an important thing to think about. If some of you get excited and you decide to start learning copywriting, and you write a new description, and this gentleman in the back in the blue shirt raises his hand, and it improves your copywriting, in 6 months, if you continue to practice, you're going to be better at copywriting, and you'll need to revisit and redo your description because you can move the needle a little further. And so I'm going to come over here and actually read this one because this is better copywriting. Oh, and I'm going to get my glasses so that it's not a fuzzy blob. Arthur Byrne is a lot of things. Bitter, ambivalent, angst-ridden, snarky, and more than anything, he's a writer who can't write anymore. So naturally, he became a professor. A life in academia has allowed Arthur to hone his drinking skills, spend time with age-inappropriate teaching assistants, and avoid the demons that silenced his Underwood many years ago. For those kids out there, Underwood's a typewriter. For those kids out there, a typewriter is a thing that we used to use. He might describe himself as an anti-hero if he weren't so against the term. Underwood Scotch and Rye is a satirical look at social media and modern technology through the eyes of a Luddite college professor whose days at Beckerston College are numbered. The dean wants him gone. The president wants him gone. Arthur wants to be left alone. Can a group of teaching assistants led by Wen Hu, a 28-year-old suffering from unbridled optimism, save Arthur from dismissal and himself? Pick up this page-turner today. What do you think? At any point in there, did I talk about what's in the book? Nope. There's nothing in there about what's in the book. It's not a synopsis. I'm not out there giving plot points and ruining, and that's a problem for us authors because I'm not a parent. I don't know anything about children. These are my children. I understand they need to be fed and clothed. I have no idea. Do they clean their own cages? No idea. These are my children. And we love them. And we're so excited, especially that first book. We want to tell people, oh, I did all these clever things. It's so wonderful. We want to put it in there. Don't do it. Copywriting is not prose. Copywriting is short. It's beats. It's getting people from the beginning to the end. I have seen brilliant prose in descriptions, and that's bad copywriting. Don't do that. What do we got next? Okay. This one I don't really need to read because I've pretty well got it down. Look how many words I've got there above the fold. Again, for you young people, we used to have these things called newspapers. And above the fold was important. You wanted your ad above the fold. 13 words. Henry knew one thing, ... I've been known to misuse the ellipse. I'm fine with that. Henry knew one thing, ... Is anybody that gets to this going to stop reading at ... No, they have to go to the next line. Dames were trouble. Okay, I've used 7 words. They've seen the cover. Better cover, right, than my homage. This wasn't done by me. This was done by a real artist. And the word dames hasn't been used in 70 years. So in that, I've established this is not a contemporary mystery. So I've gotten some information in there. And, dames were trouble. Well, why are they trouble? That's a little bit of a hook right there. It's an implied question, if you will. Henry knew one thing, dames were trouble. Would this client be the exception? Ooh, questions are good because nobody likes to leave a question hanging. Okay, now I can't read it. Henry knew one thing, dames were trouble. Would this client be the exception? She walked in, sat down, crossed her legs, and asked for a light. Boy, could she cross a leg. Before the woman had told him why she needed a detective, Henry wondered if she was playing him. It was something about her. The red lips and smoldering eyes were just a little too perfect. She knew how to get her way. And the dress, ... She wore a Dior dress that would make an hourglass self-conscious. Was it the Damsel in Distress act? This was the second one he'd seen this week. Something wasn't adding up. 1955 was going to be an interesting year. You'll love this noir mystery with a twist because everyone loves a broken detective trying to do what's right. Get it now. Again, that converts at 1 in 8. Don't talk about the story at all. But I do a lot of things in there. I establish the tone of the writing. If you've read Pulp Fiction from the 50s, she wore a Dior dress that would make an hourglass self-conscious. I'm not going to say Dashiell Hammett-esque because I'm not as good as him, but it's a bell that's ringing that people that are looking for that's good. I didn't have to say, if you like Dashiell Hammett, I just put something in there. That's powerful. This was the second one he'd seen this week. What's that about? Who was the first one? We get to the end, and 1 out of 8 people need to find out what goes on in this story. That's proper copywriting. Does that make sense? Can you see the difference between this and the mess that you have? Okay. What else do we have? Is that the last slide? Good, because I like to just ramble. Let's see where we're at on. Oh, we're doing fine. I mentioned this a little bit earlier, and it's hard to learn this skill. This doesn't happen overnight. It's not natural. Again, all of you have been exposed to great copywriting throughout your lives, but you haven't been thinking about it. In January of 2017, when people were showing an interest in Amazon ads on the 20Books group, there was around 23,700, I think, in January of 2017. People started asking questions. I knew the answers. So I was writing posts to address the questions that I would see most often. And in the group of 23,000, I would get 50 likes or loves and 12 comments or so. And I mention this because I assume everyone's on Facebook, but how many of you are on Facebook? Okay. I was right. You're all on Facebook. Facebook is the greatest place to test out copywriting because you get instant feedback. Have any of you read my post on 20 books? There you go. When I started in 2017, I was doing this, and then I got the idea that I wonder if I can improve my data. And now I typically write a post, and on Facebook, this is Homer-esque in length, 450 words to, I think my longest is around 1,500. 1,500 words on a Facebook post. And I typically get between 500 and 750 likes and loves. My best is 1,600, 200 to 300 comments. My best is 588 on a post that Craig turned off after 5 hours. That's proper copywriting. You all are on Facebook. What I want you to do is I want you to practice your copywriting when you're putting up posts. If you're going to tell somebody about you bought a new car and you're excited, don't just write a block of text. Say, I did something today I've never done before, ... My entire life, I've wanted to buy a new car off the lot, pay for it myself without my parents' help. And today, this new, beautiful Toyota, who I've lovingly named Sasha, is mine. Okay, that's maybe 3 or 4 lines. What I want to point out is you'll notice all the blank lines in my copy. That is 50% of the power of copywriting. And so I've been talking about the words. I want to impress upon you that when you're practicing copywriting on Facebook or sending me a message in Messenger, if you hold down Shift and hit Enter twice, you can put in a blank line. And it's vastly easier for me to read 5 questions separated by blank lines than 1.5 feet of a single paragraph in tall, thin stuff. So for the sake of humanity, start putting in the blank lines because it matters. And you've been on Facebook. You see how often people interact with your posts. Try this. This is how you'll get good at copywriting. I have used copywriting in all of my non-prose writing for almost a year and a half now. Once I started those tests on the 20-book site, I just kept doing it. And I want you to think about, I'm here to sell you Mastering Amazon Descriptions, an author's guide by Brian D. Meeks. But I'm also here, copywriting isn't so that you can improve your description. It's so you can improve your business because you know what? We also send emails to readers. What if you used hooks in your emails? What if they didn't have giant blocks of text? First new reader comes along, they're part of your autoresponder campaign, they open it up, it's short, 150, 200 words, there's a laugh line in there, and they're going to think, wow, she's really quite delightful. I think I'll open her next email. It will improve your conversion, whether it's getting them to like your emails and open them, or take action at the end. There's so much value in this, and it doesn't happen overnight. And so when you go home today or tonight and you're putting up posts on Facebook, I want you to put in the blank lines because it's how you're going to learn if you're improving and because I will be silently judging you. So what I want, see, they have a little clock here for me, which is so nice. And this is very helpful. So what I want to say in conclusion, I hope all this has made sense. I'm very approachable. I'm friendly. I like hugs. If you send me things on Facebook and include a guinea pig picture, you get special treatment. In the back of Mastering Amazon Descriptions, an author's guide by Brian Meeks, at the end, I kind of say, you know what, I really don't want to get in the business of writing descriptions. But if you're on the ledge and your life is at risk and you need a description, hunt me down and you can pay me to write you one. And that's how I felt when I launched the book earlier this year. And about 8 people a month would reach out to me and say, yes, I'm on death's door, write me a description. And I would do it. And it turns out I really like it. And so September 30th of this year, in my 2 groups, the Mastering Amazon Ads group and the Mastering Amazon Descriptions group, which you're all welcome to join, I put up 2 posts and I said, you know what, I've decided I kind of like writing descriptions. And if you'd like me to write a description, $120, I'll write your description. It's a pretty painless process. 50% of the time, I just need the link to the description, the horrible mess that you have. And then I've got just only a couple minutes left. And I just want to say, I can look at that and then go through the reviews. And so if you're doing this yourself, which I also encourage, there are a lot of great nuggets in your reviews. If you see 3 people mentioned, oh, and I loved, then that is probably a thing that could be a good hook. And so that's where I look for the hooks and the ideas. And sometimes, though, maybe it's a genre I'm not familiar with, in which case we'll get on Skype or something and I'll have questions, and that's how I write the description. So I didn't do questions today, but I will make myself available. You may come by and say hello, and if you're interested in having me write a description, I will continue adding to the list. Right now at 6 deep. I tend to do 2 or 3 a day, and so if 50 of you sign up, the last person, it may be a little while, but I will do my best to get you the descriptions. And thank you so much for those of you, after an evening that might have included alcohol, getting up at this hour to come see me. I appreciate it.
Take your seats, please. Take your seats. Little technical glitch, but we are live now. For this morning's session, we've got Amazon talking to you about KDP.
Right, very bright. Yeah, it's a lot. Hi, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for attending our thing. Sorry for the delay. HDMI to DisplayPort is what I needed. Anyway, so my name is Kamel Dupuy-Perez, and I work with the author relations team at KDP. My current co-presenter is Jesse Hughes, who works with publishers and agents, also for KDP. And then with us, we also have Mimi Chan from GOODREADS and Trisha Gallagher from our publisher education team. This is our first time officially presenting at the 20Books Vegas event. So we hope you all saw the ACX presentation yesterday and enjoyed that. And then immediately after this presentation, we have our office hours session where you're all welcome to come and ask us almost anything. And that is immediately after this in Pioneer. It starts at 9:45 and it'll go up until 1 p.m. We will have folks there at our office hours from ACX, from GOODREADS, from advertising, myself, Paperback, just anything in general, just Amazon related. You can come up and talk to us there. We will also be live tweeting during this presentation with relevant links for things that we talk about. So you can follow that at Amazon KDP on Twitter for those things. We find great value in talking to authors. And we hope to get all of your feedback following this presentation. So today our presentation is going to be about expanding your audience using Amazon. Our goal today is that even the most experienced KDP publishers in the room will walk away with something new. but we will also be covering the basics, so please stick with us through while we do that. I know a lot of you already know that, but there might be a few people that could still take from that. But by the end of this presentation, hopefully, you will have three things. You'll learn why and how to publish on KDP, learn about the new things being offered on KDP, and we hope to leave you with some new ideas and some action items that you guys can do after publishing. And then to wrap it up, we'll be sharing some of the resources that KDP has to offer.
Let me get this down here. To kick things off, let's talk about readers a little bit. We're all here because we love reading. I'm so much shorter than you. We're all here because we love reading, and hopefully writing as well. We love books, we love the people who read them, and we love the authors who write them. Kindle commissioned a reader survey this year. We thought it would be fun to share a quick slide of the results. The entire survey is published on the Amazon Day 1 blog, but we wanted to highlight some results focused around happiness. Did you know that 71% of individuals who read weekly report feeling happier compared to 55% of other readers? This just shows that frequent reading actually makes people happier. More than 80% of individuals polled credited reading for improving their relationships. And show of hands, who loves talking or posting about books? Love it. Then you're part of the 81% who look forward to discussing at least one aspect of a book with others. Now that we're feeling happy, let's talk about KDP. Can you raise your hand if you've published at least one book with KDP? I love it. With KDP, you can publish in 41 languages that are spoken by over 3.5 billion people around the world. So that's huge reach. Most recently in May, we launched support for traditional Chinese language. And while the name is Kindle Direct Publishing, we offer both ebook and paperback publishing options for authors. I'm guessing a lot of you already know that. You can log into one account and publish both formats of your book. The more time we can save you, the more time you have to focus on writing, publishing, and marketing your books. So why should you publish with KDP? There's no upfront cost for you to do it, for digital or print. That still does surprise some people. We try to offer everything you need to publish for free, as well as free tools to help create your cover and interior file, which can be the hardest part of publishing. Once you click publish, your book is live within a few days, and often much quicker than that. If you have an event coming up, if you have a movie, a trailer, something like that, it's really quick to publish. If you have worldwide rights to your content, you can make it available to customers around the world. You retain your publishing rights. We also offer competitive royalties, so up to 70% for the digital and up to 60% for print. If you enable expanded distribution for paperback books, that royalty is about 40%. So to get started, go to kdp.amazon.com and create an account. If you've got an Amazon account, you can use the same login information. And once you've entered your banking and tax information so we can pay you, you can get started. We're going to go through the highlights of the process quickly since I saw so many hands raised before. As you're entering your book details, keep in mind that this is the information that will appear on the detail page of the book. That is where readers are going to find your book on Amazon. To make sure that all of that is correct and accurate, it's also how your book will be searchable in the Amazon store. Title, author name, description, series, all of that information is important for readers to easily find your book. Kamel.
The next step, once you have that, is to, oh yeah, I am a little taller.
And it will heels, too.
The next step on that is to choose your release date. You can choose, you can release your book immediately, or you can set up an ebook pre-order. We have two new pre-order options, the first one being assetless pre-order. We received a lot of feedback from authors about wanting to be able to create a pre-order without having to put in a placeholder file, so we worked to make this change. With this in mind, if you do choose to utilize this option, just please make sure that you publish your final manuscript at least 3 days prior to release date, or 5 or 7. The wider the window, the better. The title setup pages for the book will feature a timer at the top that will help you remember that deadline. And just quick tip, don't try to get there like on the last 10 seconds. Do it a few days before. The second pre-order option that we have was one of the most requested features that we've gotten from authors, and it's the ability to create a year-long Kindle pre-order. With this, it allows you the flexibility to schedule your rapid release campaigns with your books, all listed for sale at the same time. Or you can pre-promote your book series throughout the entire year. These changes give you more time and flexibility to market your books and deliver the best possible manuscripts for readers. Again, we received a lot of feedback about this and worked to make this an option on KDP. Oh, thanks.
More happiness.
Yeah.
More happiness.
More happiness. In addition to the 2 new pre-order options, we also now allow the ability to delay a pre-order release just one time for up to 30 days without a penalty. We understand that life happens and that sometimes delaying a pre-order is necessary. However, we're also focused on the customer, as customer obsessed as we are. So the ability to delay once is per account, not per title. And as always, you can still move a pre-order release date up to a sooner date.
Once you've chosen a release date, it's time to upload your manuscript and cover. Make sure you've got a well-formatted Kindle manuscript. To help you do this, we offer a free tool called Kindle Create. Within Kindle Create, you can upload a Word file, create a table of contents, and add themes to design your book. And with the Kindle Create Beta, you're able to format one file and upload the same file for both ebook and paperback. This is a beta program, so there are still some limitations to the paperback formatting, but by participating in the beta, you're able to submit your feedback and help us improve your experience. And again, at office hours, please feel free to give us your feedback. For covers, we have several options for both digital and print. We're almost there. Before you hit publish on only digital, we encourage you to consider publishing in print at the same time you publish in digital. So basically what we're saying is publishing in both formats is encouraged. And why? There are lots of print book readers. Print is still important. And some like to buy all formats of a book. So for me, while I read a ton in digital, my favorite books, I want them on my shelf. So I buy the print versions as well, especially nonfiction. But that's just me. For you, print books are great for events and giveaways. They look good on social media too. We try to make this easy for you by allowing you to order books for marketing at printing cost. Publishing your book through KDP means that when a customer clicks buy, we print it. That's why it's called print on demand. Now that you've published your book, our quality control process kicks off. This process is in place to help us identify quality issues along the way and any abuse or fraud. We've heard your feedback about this topic and want you to know that we're continuously improving the process. The quality control process currently checks newly published titles, both ebook and paperback formats, via a 2-step process ensuring a title is reviewed. It also confirms publishing rights. If we're unable to determine you hold the rights to a certain title, we may email you to confirm. Typically, these emails ask you to either resubmit your book or provide documentation to verify you hold the rights to the content. We also want you to know that if any additional steps need to be taken, we will notify you by emailing the address associated with your account. So make sure that address is up to date.
Now that your book is available for purchase on Amazon, you'll probably want to see how it's selling, how much money you're making, and all that stuff. We know and have received a lot of feedback from authors that data is important to you, and we continue to evolve what is presented based on that feedback. We want to make it easy for you to understand what you're earning and gain insights as to how your marketing efforts are affecting your sales. To help with that, we're testing some new reports, which you can click from the reports page in your KDP account. These reports are mobile optimized, so you can actually view them from your phone. You can change the data visualized either as a line graph or as a bar chart, and you can select multiple books at one time to display on the screen and compare. In May, we launched this new dashboard view, which gives you more at a glance visibility. On the dashboard here, you can see your sales, your pages read, and your estimated royalties for the day, and your top earning books for the day as well. The source of your estimated royalties for the current month by format, ebook, paperback, and Kindle Unlimited by marketplace. We also launched the Royalties Estimator KDP reporting beta in the KDP reporting beta. Again, this was another request from authors, something that they really wanted to see, and we worked hard to put that in our reporting beta. The royalties estimator will let you see how your earnings are trending for the current month, estimate your monthly royalties in a single currency, and estimate your monthly royalties for Kindle Unlimited and the Kindle Owners Lender Library, or KOL, before the KDP Select Global Fund is announced for that month. Yeah.
Now we're going to shift gears and talk about some tools and tips to help you expand your audience with Amazon. Let's talk about who that audience is. Amazon's book business across all formats, print, digital, and audio, continues to grow. We look for ways to grow by engaging global, new, and existing readers with new features, promotions, and services to increase discovery of books. We just launched access to Kindle Unlimited, our subscription program, in 8 new countries this year. Keep the global audience in mind as you're publishing. KDP allows you to publish books in 41 languages, with 8 of those languages are only supported in ebook format. There are lots of considerations to make when translating a book, but if you have the opportunity to translate your book and you retain those rights, you should definitely consider it. Also, don't forget that there are English language readers across the globe. There are multiple language readers across the globe, so making your books available in as many languages as possible across the world helps you expand your reach. Come on.
Another way to expand your audience is using through KDP Select. KDP Select is a program that authors can enroll in on a book-by-book basis. In exchange for these 90 days of exclusivity for your ebook, we make available benefits that increase the discovery of your book in ways to help augment your earnings. You can enroll in this program at any point in the book's life cycle, and we know that exclusivity may not be the right option for some authors, so you always have to do what's best for your business here. If KU is the best thing for your business, do that. If it's going wide, do that. Like, whatever's best for you. You may want to experiment with it, though, since it's only 90 days. You can add titles that are deep in your backlist, past your sales cycle, or early books in the series to help hook readers on to buy the rest of it, or books that simply got great reviews and star ratings, but they didn't really sell to your expectations. When a book is enrolled in KDP Select, you get access to Kindle Countdown deals, or KCDs as we frequently refer to them, and free book promotions. The Kindle Countdown deals are limited to a 7-day promotion where you can set your book up at a discount and have the price increase back up to the original list price in increments that you set over the 7-day promo period. When the customer lands on the detail page of a Kindle Countdown deal book, they're going to see the ticking clock to let them know that they're going to see that ticking clock. They're going to see the original list price and the current promotional price. That clock will hopefully get a little sense of urgency to buy something. And how long the promotional price will be before it changes. This will help you establish a sense of urgency and demand for the customers. You'll also earn royalties based on the regular royalty rate of the promotional price. So for example, if you're using the 70% royalty rate option, then you are going to, if you're using the 70% royalty rate, you're going to earn the 70% even if it's priced below $2.99. Another option that we have is the free book promotion, which allows your book to be free for 5 days within a 90-day period. Authors will find this useful if they're trying to break out themselves in a new voice, or if they're trying to launch a new series or a different direction for their core work. When your book is enrolled in Select, it's also enrolled in Kindle Unlimited. Kindle Unlimited is the subscription program where customers pay $9.99 a month and they can borrow a book from the Kindle Unlimited library. It's one of our biggest drivers for reader engagement. Both existing heavy readers and brand new readers who may not have taken a chance on your book at the full list price, but will actively try to seek out new voices in a more risk-free subscription environment.
The benefit of Kindle Unlimited to authors is accruing additional revenue streams that can increase your overall earnings. Every month there's a global fund. We calculate all the pages that were validly read that month and pay authors a prorated share of the fund based off their book's page reads. Every time a reader borrows your book, it also helps raise the visibility of your book, just like a sale does, making it more visible in search and more recommended through all the personalization features we have. It's also a global program. We've paid out over $1 billion to authors since we launched the program, and that makes me happy. This program has been around for 5 years now, and we continue to invest heavily to ensure the program remains attractive to both authors and readers. Amazon offers a lot of marketing opportunities for authors too, so let's take a look at some of those. Author pages are where customers can find an author's full catalog on Amazon. Robust and compelling author pages increase customer engagement. To set up your author page, make sure you go to the to Amazon Author Central, and create a full author page with biography. Claim all of your books. Encourage readers to sign up to follow your author page so they get notified when you release a new book. And now Mimi will tell you about Goodreads.
Good morning. How's everybody doing? Woo. I love this. So, and hopefully you can see me. Even shorter than Jesse. I know. Can we trade shoes? Here, I'll stand a little bit to the side, so it's a little easier for you. So, many of you know Goodreads as the world's largest community for readers. And what differentiates Goodreads from other sites is the fact that everybody that comes to Goodreads is really there just because they want to know something about a book, right? So this is the exact target audience that you want. That's different from almost any other place that you can be on the internet. They might be looking for other things. Here, they just want to know about books, so they want to know about your books, right? We're top 100 most visited sites in the world, according to Conquest. And when somebody searches for a book, usually we're somewhere in the top 10 for any book search. And that's why it's important for you to be on the site and to have updated information about yourself and your book on the site. Goodreads has over 95 million members today. This is worldwide. Half of those members are in the US, half in the rest of the world. So we're really robust and growing across the whole span. Additionally, there are even more readers on the site who aren't even registered members. So that means that beyond the 95 million, there's even more millions of readers who are looking at the site who don't even log in. They can look at your books without being logged in. 70% of our readers are female. 72% are between the ages of 18 to 54. 61% are college graduates. Readers shelve about 18 million books a month. And every second, they shelve 7 books on the site. So the goal is for your book to be one of those 7, right? We have over 95 million text reviews on the site today, 95 million. And something to keep in mind is that even the most shelved and most popular book in the world has a range of reviews. That's important because that's part of what makes our reviews really trusted by readers. Really trusted is when you see a range of reviews. It makes it feel believable, right? And the thing that we think about with reviews is that you really want to write reviews that make people understand, is this the right book for them? Our best reviewers, that's what they're really doing. The variety of ratings that we have, it sounds like it's really broad, but the reality is that 92% of our reviews are 3 stars or higher. What that means is that most readers are really positive, and they really prefer to write reviews on books they love. And so, again, that makes all these reviews just really valuable for each of you. All right. So when you're thinking about these 95 million reviews and these 95 million readers and all these shelvings and ratings, what does that mean for you? Right? What does that mean for you? When you're engaging on Goodreads, you're able to really drive up your following. You're hopefully able to drive up more discovery of your book, people who are adding the books to their shelves, and then hopefully getting more people to rate your book, right? So these are 5 ways that I talk to authors all the time that I think really help to drive those goals, right? So first, become a Goodreads author. It's easy. Claim your profile page. Take control of what your brand is on the site. Similar to Author Central, Amazon Author Central, you can claim your profile on Goodreads. Just create a member account and then go to your book page, click on your name, you'll see you already probably have a profile page. You just haven't claimed it yet. And then go to the bottom and claim that. Be sure to keep your bio and your book listings up to date. Realize that if you have multiple books, the way that they're ranked is based on how popular they are, how many people have rated or reviewed or shelved that book. The reason we do it that way is because it really helps the reader find the books that they're most interested in first. So it's really about that reader experience. Be a part of the community by shelving and reviewing books. That's the second thing I would say. The reality is that our members don't necessarily think of you as authors first. You want them to think of you as a reader first. You want them to think of you as a real person. The reason that's important is because they're more likely to connect with you and feel like they want to support you and become a follower when they know who you are. And so all the time I'm telling authors, the 3 things that you can do is be real, show your passions, participate in the site as a reader first, not as an author. The rest of it will follow if you do that. And then start early. Start as early as you can because you're building that relationship. You're building that conversation with your readers before you ever publish your book, ideally. That's part of the reason why we enable anybody to add their book to the site as long as you have a title, an author name, and a publish date. That enables you to start building buzz for your book much earlier than before you launched it. Third, advertise your book. Doing a Goodreads giveaway is one of the easiest ways you can to immediately drive a number of people to discover your book. And we'll talk about that in a second. Fourth, interact with readers using Ask the Author. So this is a free feature that allows readers to ask questions and for you to then answer them. We really built this feature with authors in mind. So that means that you access it on your author dashboard. You just turn it on with a click, and you can control everything about it. So you control when it's turned on, when it's turned off. You can add a question prompt to that. When you do that, I always recommend that you include in your prompt to please follow you so that readers will get notified when you answer. They only get notified when you answer a question. So you're the only one who sees all the questions. You choose which questions you want to answer. So again, we put a lot of control in your hands around this feature so that you can really engage readers the way you want to. And when you do that, again, it sends a notification to all your followers. So it just re-engages your readers, brings them back into your profile, brings them back into your book. And you can put different topics on there so you can talk about different things like, oh, I just launched a new book. Ask me about this book, right? And let's have a discussion about that. And then lastly, Kindle Notes and Highlights. So Kindle Notes and Highlights is a free feature, again, that anybody can use to share things that were most meaningful to them about a book. When you go into Kindle, did you know that you can pull all the top most highlighted passages in your book? And what I always recommend is that authors add annotations to at least those passages because you know those are going to resonate with your readers. Authors are really on the top of the list of the people that our readers want to hear additional insights from. We did research on this, and you guys were at the very top. And so we know that readers love this feature. They love hearing from you within the context of the book. It's a really easy way to talk about and promote your book, not just within Goodreads, but you can share about it, all these annotations you've just added outside Goodreads. So it gives you like a really nice, authentic reason to talk about your book in a different way that doesn't feel like salesy. Your note annotations are featured on the page of the book. So on high up on your book page, your annotations are featured, nobody else's. And then a notification and a newsfeed story is sent to all the people who follow you or to people who follow you and have shelved the book. So what's really nice about it is that when you add these annotations, the site is built to then promote those annotations to our readers and to people who are, want to know more about your book. So for numbers 2 through 5 of these, again, Goodreads was built to amplify the actions that you take on the site. So this is what we're calling the social amplification effect. When you take one of these actions, it then sends either a notification in some cases, an email in other cases. It goes into the news feeds of your friends and your followers, which again, that's why it's so important to be a real person on the site that other people want to follow. And it then, again, puts that information back out there and makes your book top of mind again with those readers. Again, with all 5 of these things, start early. Start early. Kindle Notes and Highlights is the only thing that can be done after your book is in the system, but everything else you could do months ahead of time, and you want to do them months ahead of time so that you're building up that audience, capturing that audience for your book. So let's talk a little bit about giveaways, because this is one of the best ways that you can capture that audience. Giveaways is really great for helping you break out your book, keep the momentum going with your current or latest book, and also you can use it to rekindle interest in an older title. Similar to many ad campaign, paid giveaways help drive discovery of your book. So a Goodreads giveaway, it's really much more than just getting your book into the hands of a reader. Again, we've built social amplification throughout Goodreads giveaways so that there's awareness of your book on our highly trafficked giveaways page. There's stories that will show up in news feeds, and there's notifications that get sent to followers. The benefits that you get and also that readers get is that, one, it helps readers discover your book. That's a great thing for them and for you. A lot of our readers are browsing giveaways in order to find those like little-known gems, and so they want to discover little-known books in this part of the site. Secondly, it helps capture an audience for your book. So remember I talked about that a second ago? When you run a giveaway, particularly if you run one before your book ever launches, then when a reader enters, it's automatically shelved on their want-to-read shelf. And when the book then goes on sale, all those readers that you've captured will receive an on-sale date notification email about your book, bring it back to their attention that it's on sale. That might also be a good time for you to do a promotion. And then lastly, it helps build buzz about your book. So again, those who've shelved your book, every one of their friends and followers will also see that they've shelved your book. And a lot of times that's what we're looking for as readers, right? We're looking for what our friends are reading, looking for a recommendation. And so that's like an implicit recommendation when they add your book to their shelf. So some nuts and bolts about giveaways. Giveaways can run for up to 30 days, and again, can start before a book is ever officially on sale. You can offer as few as one book, maybe your special, really especially special signed limited edition copy of your book, or as many as 100, often Kindle editions of your book. So some factors to think about when you're deciding like what you want to do, how you want to run your giveaways. A print book giveaway is really great for readers who want to post a photo of the book. Like Jesse said earlier, that's one of the best ways you can use and one of the reasons why you want to have printed copies. Readers love posting those photos. Secondly, you're able to include a personal note and a signature, and that always gets readers really excited. Oftentimes when I see a book posted, they post it with it open to where you've created a personal message for them. And then authors are responsible for the publishing costs and mailing of these books. So that's one thing that you might want to consider when you think about whether you want to do print or Kindle giveaways, because the Kindle giveaway, the cost of the book is actually included in the giveaway. And what I mean by that is that for the price of a standard giveaway, which is $119, for instance, it would include the cost of the book. So you're not paying for the giveaway and then paying for the books that you're giving away as well. You're just paying for the cost of the giveaway. All the books that are given to the readers are then included in that cost. So you no longer have to spend time or money trying to get those books to readers. What's really nice is also that it gets to readers faster. As soon as your giveaway is over, we automatically send that book directly to the readers. So hopefully that buzz starts building faster. They start reading faster. So when you think about, I think a standard versus a premium giveaway, that's a question I get sometimes. So I'll just give you a quick answer why you'd want one versus the other. A premium giveaway, this is really the difference, has higher placement on the Goodreads giveaways page. So it's going to have more visibility, basically. You're just buying more exposure. When you think about giveaways, you should think of it like a mini ad campaign, right? And that's really what you're paying for, is the promotional value of the giveaways. And so you get more promotional value when you buy a premium giveaway. You also have the ability to send a message written by you and personalized to everyone who entered your giveaway. So again, that's a great opportunity for you right after a giveaway is over to send that message and maybe run like a countdown, promotion, just like a quick one-day promotion, and really, capitalize on that interest in your book. So to sum up, if you want a quick marketing campaign to increase discovery and buzz for your book, then we recommend giveaways. It's like a mini ad campaign. That's how you should think about it. If you're committed to a long-term engagement with your reader on the site, then I would say build relationships within the community. Update your profile page. Follow other people, other readers, other top reviewers, like the Emily May that I showed up a second ago. Be part of book groups in areas that you're truly excited about and want to discuss with other readers. All of that's going to really drive who you are on the site, your brand, awareness of you as an author. And all these free features that I shared about earlier will help you maximize the benefits of how Goodreads is built as a whole. One last thing I'm going to say is right now we're in the middle of our Goodreads Choice Awards, which is the awards where our readers really choose their favorite books of the year for the books that were published just in this year. And so I get asked sometimes, how do I, as a KDP author, ever even get considered for something like that? It comes back to having a lot of people who follow you and support you, shelving your book, rating your book, to give you some sense of what that rating might look like for a Goodreads nominated book. All the ones that are automatically nominated at the end of the year, all of it's really based on data from readers, right? Is rated at a minimum 3.5 stars on the site. So ones are automatic nominated. But on top of that, there are 5 write-ins for each of the 20 categories for Goodreads Choice Awards. That's, what is that, 5 times 20, 100. So that is 100 chances for your book to be written in, to be part of the Goodreads Choice Awards. And that's not based on ratings. It's not based on how many people have shelved your book. It's really about how you can activate your supporters and your followers to nominate and write you in. And I'm constantly surprised by how few people take advantage of that. And so think about that. If you're writing a book for next year, you have that chance that a year that your book is launched to empower people to write in your book as a nominee. I would take complete advantage of that. And so I hope that some of these tips really help you think about how you can engage readers on the site and get your book more awareness and more discovery and hopefully more sales. Trisha.
All right, so now we're going to talk a little bit about Amazon advertising. So how many of you have used Amazon advertising to advertise your books? So a good majority of you. Excellent, excellent. Then you're probably aware of sponsored ads from Amazon advertising. And sponsored ads are the self-service solution. And you can choose pay-per-click ads, which mean you only pay when readers click on your ads. And ads can appear in a variety of placements, in search results, on detail pages, on Kindle e-readers, and on Fire tablets where eligible. Ads are mobile optimized, they support budget flexibility, and they're easy to create. Now we have 2 sponsored ad types currently available to KDP authors. There's sponsored products and lock screen ads. So we're going to discuss sponsored products first. So sponsored products allows you to promote both ebooks and paperback books. This helps you create and increase your visibility for your title in search results, on detail pages across desktop, mobile, and the Amazon app. When readers click on a sponsored product ad, they're driven to your title's detail page where they can purchase or download your book. Now you can select your own keywords or product to target your ad, or you can quickly create a campaign using automatic targeting, which allows Amazon to target your keywords, products, which are similar to your book in your ad. You can also choose to use lock screen ads, which allows you to promote ebooks directly to readers most likely to buy your book. You can engage readers with interest-targeted ads, for example, by genre, and while they're on their Kindle e-readers and Fire tablets. This makes it easy for them to buy and download your title. Now, many of you may have noticed that we recently redesigned the Amazon advertising dashboard so that it's easier to use. It now features left side navigation that allows easy access to your campaigns, reports, billing, and help. We've also recently launched more advertising reports. You can download advertising reports to review your campaign's performance and make timely optimization adjustments. You can gather insights on search terms, targeting, advertised products, placements, and performance over time. And all of this helps you understand what your book title and keyword mix to help you reach those business goals. It'll help you gather insights on search terms, placements, and keywords to understand how shoppers find your advertised titles. And you can review your campaign's performance to make timely optimization adjustments. Now, I don't know if you saw this, but we've recently launched the ability to advertise in the UK and Germany. This is something that you requested and we were able to make happen. So after you log into your KDP account, you can find the title you want to promote and click Promote and Advertise under Kindle ebook actions or paperback actions. And then under Run an Ad Campaign, you can click on the drop-down to choose the marketplace where you want your ads to appear. And if you want to advertise in multiple marketplaces, you just have to repeat this step for each marketplace. And then depending on the ad type that you choose to use, you can set a budget at either the daily or campaign level. We recommend running ads for a minimum of 4 to 6 weeks before making modification. This just helps you recognize trends that are happening within the ad. And for campaigns or keywords that are performing well, you can increase your budget or bids and add additional related keywords or products to your top performers. And to get a clear picture on how your ads are performing, you'll need to look at both KDP and the ads reports, because the advertising reports only count ad attributed sales that you need, so you need the KDP reports to get that bigger picture. Now, if you have more questions on Amazon advertising, come to our office hours. We'll have Sophia with us, right here, and she'll be able to answer your questions. Now, after today, you may have some additional questions about publishing with KDP, and we're continuously creating new content and videos to help you walk through the process. So don't forget to check these out. Your first stop should always be our help pages. And you can search for the topic that if you just have a general question, go ahead, go in there, search, or check out the left nav to get the immediate answers to your questions. Now, how many of you have ever seen KDP University or attended any of the events or checked out any of our videos? Good. All right. I'm glad to see that there's a few of you. About a year and a half ago, we launched KDP University. And it's a comprehensive suite of resources designed to help you take your best book to market. Within KDP University, we offer live webinars, recorded videos, KDP Jumpstart, and KDP Build Your Book. Our popular 60-minute webinars, we offer these live. They run pretty much weekly, and we have different topics to help you learn how to successfully publish. And if you show up at one of the webinars, you're probably going to hear my voice. Each webinar includes best practices, answers to frequently asked questions, and at the end, we do a live Q&A, meaning you submit your questions and we answer them live at that point. The webinars do require registration, which you can do by clicking on the topic of your choice on the webinar's help page. And this will take you to the GoToWebinar registration page for that topic. Now, participation is limited, so make sure to register early, but don't worry if you can't join at that time. We're always hosting new webinars. Like I said, we do these weekly, and you can check out the recordings. Speaking of recordings, we have videos that offer multiple information on multiple topics, including getting started, book details, formatting, and advertising. And you can find those videos and the webinar recordings either on our help pages under KDP University or on the KDP University YouTube channel. So make sure to follow us on YouTube so that you're notified when we release new content. If you haven't seen it, KDP Jumpstart is a comprehensive approach to steps for publishing a book on KDP. The program's going to walk you through getting started, entering your book details, creating formatted manuscript, and designing a cover, as well as information on books and pricing. They have videos embedded, there's help page content, there's tips and tricks, as well as downloadable companions. And speaking of downloadable companions, if you're formatting your book yourself using MS Word or Mac Pages, you can check out the KDP Build Your Book. This offers step-by-step guides that explain how to format your paperback to save it as a PDF so that it works with the KDP website. Guides are offered in Microsoft Word for both Windows and Mac, and Pages for Mac users. And last but not least, we have our KDP community, where you find both new and accomplished authors and publishers who are very knowledgeable about self-publishing with KDP. You can ask for help, or you can lend a hand and answer somebody else's question. We also post community announcements here, so definitely check out this space if you want to find out the latest about what's going on with KDP. As an example, this is where we announce the year-long Kindle pre-orders. All right, so before we wrap this up, we've got Jesse to talk about one more Kindle feature.
Remember in the beginning of the presentation when we talked about how reading boosts happiness? Kindle has created a way for authors and readers to share that happiness with a new feature, Kindle Quotes. It's currently available on the Kindle iOS app and allows anyone, to turn their favorite quotes into images to share on social media. I don't know about you guys, but I'm all over Instagram, and I love this. This is an example of one of the design options featuring a Mark Twain quote. The feature is really easy to use. Within the iOS app, you just highlight the quote you want to share and click the share icon. From there, you can choose a background and font for the image. Then you click the share button, choose where you'd like to share the quote. The feature is a great free marketing tool. Your readers can share their favorite quotes from your books, and you can do the same. For any questions, so thank you all for coming. We really appreciate it. And for any questions, please join us at Amazon office hours following this presentation from 9:45 a.m. to 1 p.m. We love you. We'll have representatives from KDP, ACX, Goodreads, and Amazon Advertising. Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your conference.
And I want to give my thanks to Amazon for making the effort to come here, bringing a small army of folks to answer your questions and accept your feedback. I mean, they may not say, no, we're going to commit to that, because they actually can't. But what they will say is, thank you for your feedback. If enough people keep giving them input on things that will help us in our self-publishing businesses, then you may eventually see it and help yourself move forward. Thank you, Amazon. Sorry, you're on the shit list. I had a. It was you saw that. Even though we had 200 people who hadn't published a book before, they weren't in here, I don't think, because you saw the majority of the hands of people who have published. Yeah. So it was a higher level, the opportunity